A blustery Tuesday. Thank you for joining us on 13 News Now at 6. I'm Janet Roach.
And I'm David Allen. After some sunny days, Hampton Roads is preparing for messy weather. 13
News Now Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lawson is tracking the system.
Yeah, and there's no doubt it's going to be a mess. I mentioned earlier, whether it's just rain, we're still going to have really messy conditions, but it's likely, at least in some spots, we're going to see a wintry mix. Luckily, for those that don't like to drive in it, it should quickly change over to rain, and the ground's fairly warm, so we're hoping for nothing more than minor accumulations, if that. Right now, you can see we are getting some snow showing up on radar. The radar estimating that a lot of this is rain, but then in a few spots we're seeing the snow. Evan and I have been checking all afternoon. None of this is reaching the ground as far as we can tell. Certainly none of the reporting stations, and nobody has gotten on the Facebook pages to tell us it is either. You can see certainly it looks down there like near Manteo. It would be snowing moderately. And again, right here around Franklin, back into parts of Suffolk and Isle of Wight, some snow showing up, but it is really, really dry out. The temperatures right now, upper 30s for the most part, or mid to upper 30s. Feels a little colder when you factor in the wind, but again, not super frigid air like we've had at times this winter. But the big news is that moisture coming in. So for the next 6 hours, temperatures stay fairly steady here, but notice how the rain chances go up and up and up. I think the 20% is a little too low. I would say by 11, it's probably more like 30%. By 1 o'clock, I'd say more like 40%. But that trend shows you the moisture is coming in, and we will be seeing that mixed precipitation. How much is expected to fall? Well, here's Norfolk, here's South Side, here's the North Carolina border. Mainly rain in North Carolina and parts of South Side. Mainly rain, but with a brief mix at the beginning for the rest of us. Nothing in many spots to maybe as much as half an inch before it quickly then turns over to rain. Once you get north of, say, Williamsburg, Middle Peninsula, Northern Neck, you have a little more of the winter weather to deal with. Some freezing rain, significant amounts likely in Central Virginia, in addition to all the snow. We'll talk about a fairly messy forecast for the extended outlook as well when I come back.
Well, how does the word snow make you feel? Let us know on 13newsnow.com.
And while you do, 13 News Now reporter Allie Weatherton is live in Hampton after talking to VDOT about how that agency is preparing for the weather.
And Allie, we know their work starts long before any ice or snow moves in.
It is, Janet. Now, David and Janet, now, VDOT officials say they're actually pre-treating the roads right now, and they say they're continuing to monitor the conditions. A wintry mix is heading to Hampton Roads. That means freezing rain, sleet, and snow could be part of your commute Wednesday morning.
It's already crazy around here with the roads, all the traffic and stuff, so I mean, it could be bad. Blake Baker says if freezing ice and rain stick around throughout the day, he won't be able to work. Because if the ground's wet and muddy, you know, the big concrete trucks we use, they can't get to where we need to pour the concrete. And you can't pour concrete underwater either. Tuesday, VDOT was all about work. Crews put down salt brine to make sure roads don't get icy.
Yeah, we'll have crews on standby should conditions warrant any additional activity. But we do anticipate with the combination of brining that we're doing today and the current pavement conditions that it should ensure melting in most areas. VDOT spokesperson Holly Christopher says the agency has plenty of supplies to cover snow and ice removal. That includes almost 25,000 tons of salt, about 17 tons of sand, and more than 165,000 gallons of salt brine. Yeah, we're not expecting a lot of accumulation, so you know we're not anticipating the need for a plow, but we've got crews ready in the event of that.
And if you do plan to head out tomorrow morning, make sure you leave and give yourself plenty of time. Live in Hampton, Allie Weatherton, 13 News Now.
All right, and taking a look at the results, most of you seem to be excited when you hear the word snow. All right, a homicide investigation is underway in Virginia Beach.
Man is dead after an early morning shooting. This happened on Chartwell Drive near Providence Road. But tonight, the search continues for the person who pulled the trigger. 13 News Now reporter Megan Puryear has more from Virginia Beach.
I could have been walking through my door and get hit by a stray bullet. So it's kind of scary.
Alana Aldrich lives just yards away from where gunshots were fired Tuesday morning.
That could have been 4 shots in any direction. That could have been anyone's house, anyone's child's bedroom, anyone's living room.
Those shots took her neighbor's life. Police got a call around 12:15 that someone had been shot at the Chartwell apartment complex. They found a man dead at the scene.
For the man who was shot and passed away, my thoughts and prayers are with them.
Aldridge says she walked out her door this morning to pandemonium.
It was just a whole bunch of people trying to figure out what was going on. And there was a fire truck right here. There were 2 police cars here. There was a news truck over there, another news vehicle here, a cop car here, and there was a cop car over there.
Police were out investigating the scene all day. Everything from cars to the parking lot, even going door to door talking with neighbors.
It does look a little strange that they're going from one building to another building.
Aldridge is just glad no one else was hurt.
I feel like it was probably just something that happened between 2 people that escalated to a point that could have involved others.
Right now, no arrests have been made in this murder, and that's what scares Aldridge the most.
It kind of scares me a little bit, makes me want to go inside a little bit earlier.
In Virginia Beach, I'm Megan Purrier, 13 News Now.
We're learning new information about a rush hour shooting on I-264. This is the pickup and the backup it caused yesterday right there near Portsmouth, in Portsmouth near Victory Boulevard. You see it right there. Virginia State Police say someone shot and seriously injured the driver of a Nissan Xterra. They think the driver was involved in an aggressive driving situation with another driver, and the shots came from a black Volvo SUV. If you know anything about this, call police.
New information now about the shooting at MacArthur Center. 2 key witnesses are stepping forward, but we've learned they work for the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office. Because of that, a special prosecutor might need to handle this case. Today, 3 of the men accused made their first court appearance. Daquan Melvin, DeVegan Melvin, and Kevin Holloman face several charges, including assault and firing a weapon in public. Holloman was in a wheelchair during his arraignment today, still recovering from being shot. His grandmother, who raised him, spoke only to 13 News Now and says Holloman is innocent.
He didn't shoot anybody. He didn't shoot a soul. He don't own a gun. He just went down to the mall to buy a T-shirt, and all this come upon him.
Holloman has a bond hearing Friday. All 3 men will face a judge again on April 4th for a preliminary hearing.
Right now, Gloucester school officials are getting ready to meet to discuss letting transgender students use the restroom of their gender identity.
This comes just a few months before a trial spearheaded by one of the school's former students. 13 News Now reporter Nico Clemens is live in Gloucester ahead of the meeting. Nico.
Well, Janet, tons of cars are pulling up right now, and by the looks of things, it's going to be a packed meeting with tons of discussion. The school board, they're going to discuss if they need to change their current bathroom policy, and they want to hear from the public. They want to hear from residents and citizens here in Gloucester County. Now, changes would allow transgender students to use the bathroom consistent with their gender identity and when they meet certain criteria. One criteria includes the student has undergone treatment, which may include social transition or hormonal therapy for at least 6 months. This has been a topic of discussion, as you all know, here in Gloucester for several years. Of course, we remember the Gloucester County School Board forced Gavin Grimm, who is transgender, to use a private restroom. Grimm, born a girl, he sued the right to use the boys' bathroom. That trial is set to start in a couple of months. Now, the school board adopted their current bathroom policy in 2014 that says boys use the boys' bathroom, girls use the girls' bathroom, and transgender students use private restrooms. That meeting here in Gloucester is going to start in a few minutes. We're going to head inside. We'll have all of that for you tonight on 13 News Now at 11. Live in Gloucester, I'm Nico Clemens, 13 News Now.